What's up you guys, it's Adrian here and welcome back to another video. If you want to break into management consulting, there are a couple of top feeder schools with high placement numbers. You should know that generally you do not need an MBA to work in consulting. You can also join a leading consulting firm after your undergraduate degree, or you can make a career switch through lateral hiring, even though this is oftentimes a little bit harder, but it's still feasible. And if you have already exhausted these avenues and tried to recruit for consulting in the past and it didn't go well, but you really want to work as a management consultant, then yes, an MBA will significantly increase your chances to make your dream come true. Also, if your goal is to work for a top-tier consulting firm, you would benefit from an MBA because these firms prefer to have their employees have an MBA. It's not an absolute necessity, but it's generally preferred. An MBA always comes with additional valuable education, training on how to think outside the box, and the ability to crack real-life cases. Either way, an MBA is still the best way to break into the leading consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG and Bain, and there are a couple of reasons for this. First of all, an MBA makes you a pre-selected candidate for an interview, simply because you've gone through a certain selection process, and with that you are showcasing a great profile. Second of all, with an MBA from a top-tier school, you're demonstrating that you have the right skill set and characteristics required in a consultant, like the ability to multitask, prioritize tasks, and simply a results-oriented approach. You might not possess these skills before you do an MBA, but you will be trained in those during your MBA. And third of all, consulting firms recruit MBA candidates because it's easy to access new talent and it's more efficient for them because they have to spend less time and money on finding the candidates they want. They go to their target schools, look at the talent pool and hire the people they think are the best fit for their firm. And because MBA hiring is an important recruitment channel for the MBBs, if you're an MBA candidate at a target school, you're already part of the recruiting pool, which means you've been automatically granted access to the recruiting system of the hiring firm. Now, consulting is a very loose term, and the definition depends on the context. On a very basic level, consulting is essentially providing business advice and guidance on various business topics that range from strategy to operations. Base salaries fresh out of a good MBA program at a reputable consulting firm can range from $175,000 to $200,000 per year. Again, this is just the base salary. With signing bonus and performance bonus, you can make more than $250,000 in your first year alone. And you should know that when I'm talking about salaries in this video, I'm talking about US salaries. And by the way, this is one of the many reasons why MBA graduates enter the consulting world after graduation, because of the industry's high salaries. Another reason is that consultants are generally exposed to a variety of different projects in different industries and locations. So theoretically, it can be intellectually stimulating enough to make a long-term career out of it. One important thing to note is that it's not just the business school's brand that will provide you access to employers in the consulting space, it's also the school's consulting club. And every top-tier school has a student-led consulting club. This is where you make connections and learn how to work on cases. It's normally also through a school's consulting club where you get to participate and compete in national and international case competitions. So when you do your due diligence, always make sure the school has a functioning consulting club. Okay, I think that was enough for an intro. Let me talk about the best business schools in the US to break into management consulting. Just by absolute number, Chicago Booth tops the list with the most total number of students entering management consulting. According to their latest employment report from 2023, 192 people made it into consulting, representing more than 38% of the total class. Booth is known for being strong in finance, but in recent years the school has focused on offering a more well-rounded education, becoming stronger with a more general management curriculum. Also, interesting fact, Booth is also the alma mater of James O. McKinsey, founder of McKinsey & Company. McKinsey hired the most out of all companies with over 70 students, which represents more than 18% of the class, followed by BCG with 52 students representing more than 13%, and Bain with 30 people representing almost 8% of the class. So the MBBs alone hired more than 150 students, accounting for almost 40% of the total class. And then as far as consulting goes, there's a huge gap. The next consulting firm on the list is Strategy Ant with 8 students, Kearney with 6 students, LEK with 5 students, and eParthenon with 4 students. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Chicago Booth is $192,000. The second runner-up is the Wharton School of Business in Philadelphia. Wharton is a major hub for financial institutions and investment banks, but one thing that sets Wharton apart for consulting is their Small Business Development Center, which allows students to consult for local entrepreneurs and gain valuable consulting experience and feedback while still in the program. A total of 183 students went into consulting, representing over 28% of the total class. There are no exact numbers in terms of which firms hired how many students, but the firms that hired 2 or more from Wharton are obviously the MBBs, but also other elite consulting firms such as Kearney, LEK, Strategy Ant, Deloitte Consulting, A&M, EY Parthenon, ZS Associates, and so on. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Wharton is $190,000 per year. Next on the list is the Kellogg School of Management. What sets Kellogg apart from other leading US business schools is the special emphasis the school places on teamwork, collaboration, and executive presence. In fact, most projects and homework assignments are completed in teams, and people's strengths and weaknesses are then peer-reviewed after each project. In consulting, nothing is more important than teamwork, and according to experts, Kellogg sharpens that tool better than any other program. But more than just teamwork, Kellogg also knows how to train you up in problem-solving skills. More than 170 students, representing almost 41% of the total class, were hired for roles in consulting, and the MBBs were the top hiring firms, with McKinsey hiring 60 students, BCG hiring 50 students, and Bain hiring 30 students. Other leading consulting firms were Deloitte Consulting, Strategy Ant, EY Parthenon, AlixPartners, A&M, and LEK. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Kellogg is $190,000 per year. A relatively young MBA program compared to many other schools is Duke's Fuqua School of Business, and it's also among the top 20 ranked MBA programs in the US. Fuqua places an emphasis on teamwork in the classroom, as students will hardly do any individual classwork. There is a massive culture of collaboration, one that all consulting firms look upon favorably. Consulting sets the pace at Duke, accounting for 43% of jobs accepted, meaning 152 people got hired for consulting jobs out of the entire class population. Overall, the vast majority of students that entered consulting accepted positions at firms with a broad range of industry engagements. A small percentage have more specialized positions in technology and healthcare. The majority went to BCG, followed by McKinsey and Bain. Other notable consulting firms hired MBA students as well, including Deloitte Consulting, Accenture Strategy, EY Parthenon, Waystone, Oliver Wyman, Kearney, A&M, LEK, and many more. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Duke Fuqua is $190,000 per year. Located in New York, it's no surprise that Columbia is well known for its excellence in finance and relationships with decision makers on Wall Street. But finance isn't everything. Graduates come out strong in quantitative work, which is super important for consulting jobs. Nowadays, you have to be able to analyze data and make sense out of it. McKinsey already had 39 sponsored students in the MBA program, but hired 39 additional graduates, and with that, it is the company that hired the most students out of the class of 2023. The second runner-up is BCG with 10 sponsored students and 29 new hires, followed by Bain with 15 sponsored students and 15 new hires. Deloitte also had 7 sponsored students in the MBA program and hired 10 new employees. Other consulting firms that hired 3 or more students from Columbia Business School were Strategy Ant, AlixPartners, Oliver Wyman, A&M, EY Parthenon, and Kearney. Other consulting firms that hired at least one MBA graduate from CBS are LEK and FTI Consulting. Of the class of 2023, 140 people made it into consulting, which represents over 29% of the total class. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Columbia Business School is $190,000. It may surprise you, but compared to other leading business schools, Harvard Business School, or HBS, does not place that many people in consulting. Of the class of 2023, only around 24%, so 140 people, chose a career in consulting. They could easily place higher, but I assume graduates choose other career opportunities. The vast majority of students landed consulting jobs at the MBBs. Along with Chicago Booth, Harvard Business School comes with a consulting median base salary of $192,000 per year. So if you want to go to a top consulting firm, you are not underserved at Harvard. Located in Cambridge, MIT Sloan is right next to Harvard Business School. Because of its relatively small size, Sloan has done a good job of building a sense of community on campus. Students work through the first semester core in teams of 5 or 6, and unlike HBS, can only choose one elective during this time period. There are also well-known consumption functions held weekly on campus, where students and faculty alike gather together to eat and drink, and these C functions often have international cultural themes. Most impressive, however, are Sloan's action labs, where students gain practical experience by teaming up to solve problems for actual businesses in the United States, China, and India. The MBBs, Deloitte Consulting, EY Parthenon, and AlixPartners were among the consulting firms that hired 3 or more MBA graduates. Other firms that hired at least one graduate were Analysis Group, FTI Consulting, Kearney, LEK, and Strategy & 98 MBA students were hired for consulting jobs, representing almost 34% of the total class population. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from MIT Sloan is $190,000 per year. Moving on to the next one. The Darden School of Business of the University of Virginia has a relatively small size of around 240 people and a reputation for its focus on more practical skills such as negotiation, selling, and team leading, rather than business theory. The school has an emphasis on integrity and character and is also known for teaching soft skills including emotional and social intelligence. And even though soft skills are quite unquantifiable, they are essential in consulting, which is an industry that is very people-oriented. If you want to work for one of the major consulting firms, Darden can certainly help you achieve that goal. Deloitte is a major recruiter on campus, along with the MBBs that are hiring for their southern region offices, and with that, Darden is notably the standout amongst target schools in those regions. Of the class of 2023, 46% went into consulting, so 145 graduates. The consulting firms that hire from Darden are McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, as well as Accenture, AlixPartners, Deloitte, EY Parthenon, Kearney, and Strategy & The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Darden is $190,000. Another leading business school with an even smaller class size than Darden is the Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth University with around 210 students. Tuck is the oldest graduate business school in the United States, and every student is required to come up with a personal leadership development program. Their MBA program is known for having a collaborative atmosphere that prepares students very well for a career in consulting. According to their most recent employment report, almost 46% got placed in consulting, with the vast majority of those going to MBB firms. Other top hiring firms within consulting are Deloitte and EY Parthenon. The median salary for a job in consulting coming from Tuck is $190,000 per year. Next on the list is Berkeley Haas, which has a class size of almost 300 students. At Haas, students work cooperatively with peers and faculty in small group settings, which allows for learning in small groups and to role play and put themselves in the shoes of diverse kinds of stakeholders during the course of their learning. Unique to Berkeley is its international business development program, which allows students to be a part of a global consulting team made up entirely of peers. This gives students from various technical and cultural backgrounds the chance to work collaboratively on actual consulting projects and provide real recommendations for real business issues. Berkeley has a reputation for churning out mature graduates who are very versed in how external issues such as politics and globalization affect day-to-day business. The combination of social responsibility, practicality, and maturity is very attractive to top consulting firms who are not just looking for competent candidates, but for competent candidates who have also shown the capacity to care about the widespread impact of their work. For the class of 2023, almost 28% went into consulting. Consulting firms that hired 3 or more students from Berkeley Haas were McKinsey, BCG and Bain, and Deloitte Consulting, EY Parthenon, and Strategy & Because the majority of graduates are staying on the expensive West Coast, the median base salary is slightly higher than at other top-tier schools with $192,000 per year. So you've seen and heard the top feeder schools for consulting. If you want to learn more about what an ideal profile of an MBA student looks like, or what the leading business schools in the US are, click the bottoms right here or down in the description below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this content and got value out of it, please hit the like button down below, and on your way down there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. That's it for today, and I'll catch you next time.